Hello, guys, and welcome to another random reviews. For today's episode, we're going to talk about something that recently happened in the state of Florida. I don't know if you're aware, but Florida became a uh, permitless carry state. I'm not going to call it constitutional carry state. Now, probably we can call it constitutional carry state. But it became a permitless carry state because it was signed into law. And Governor Ron DeSantis, signed the law and it became the law. So everybody now can carry a firearm without having to go and get a permit. If you should or should not have a permit, we can talk about that uh, all day long, but that's not the point. But it was still a forbidden to open carry, which means that you can carry your firearm openly in public. There were a few exceptions written into a law. For example, if you were going to or coming from fishing, camping, or hunting, it was okay for you to open carry a firearm. I think there is also another clause that talks about people who work in places where you carry a firearm, like for example security, or if you go to a gun range or a store that sells firearms. Sometimes, especially in the mom and pops, you will see their employees open carrying inside the store. So that seems to be allowed. But the fact that you cannot even carry a firearm openly in the house of a friend, even though if that friend actually don't care and allows you to carry. So if I was, let's say, visiting a friend and I would open carry in his house, that would be a crime. So it actually doesn't make any sense. The state legislature, and I'm not gonna give you like the whole details of everything that happened. That's not what I'm gonna do. If you want to research this case per se, go and look it up. My main goal, as I always try to say, is that for people to, if you're interested in the topic, go and dig it up and do your own research and you know gather your own information and make up your mind based on what you researched, not on what I'm telling you. I'm just gonna give you the way I understood it and my like a really high level overview to see if anyone is actually interested in it. So, long story short, legislature doesn't want to sign it into law. The governor wouldn't mind signing a law like that, but the legislature was kind of like pushing it, and the argument was that it could be bad for tourism and that kind of thing. People are not used to seeing people carrying firearms, even though Texas has been doing it for 100 million years, and you can see people carrying long rifles and everything. But that's not either here nor there. So there comes this guy, whose name I'm going to let you to find out on your own, and he goes out and kind of like breaks this law. Uh, Even though, and let's make a little stop here. And even though Florida didn't allow open carry per se, there were some exceptions that are worth mentioning. Like if you were going to or coming from fishing, camping, or hunting, it was okay for you to open carry firearms. You can have a long rifle, you can have a pistol, you can have both. It was okay to open carry while you were in the process of going to engage in those activities or coming from engaging those activities. Other than that, it was forbidden or prohibited. Not even in your friend's house. If you go to somebody else's house, even though you're allowed to be there because they invited you and they know you have firearms, they know you carry. If you were to open carry in that house, you would be breaking the law. That's how dumb that was. So anyway, this guy goes out. He grabs the Constitution and he's walking around with the Constitution. He gets arrested. He gets prosecuted, and then I think it was the appellate court, federal appellate court, said that the law was unconstitutional. And starting off on the 25th of this month, you can actually open carry in Florida, which is kind of cool. Actually, not kind of cool, it's really cool. So that takes me to this video today. I'm not gonna tell you if you should or you should not open carry. I'm going to tell you the way I see it based on the information I have gathered from the people I listen to and my own discernment of open carrying by after watching a bunch of videos of things that have happened, and different takes. And I'm going to try to explain what I see are the pros and the cons of open carrying a firearm. And that's just my understanding, and it's my decision, the way that I will do things if I ever do them. I'm not telling you that I am right. I'm not telling you that I am wrong. I'm not telling you that open carrying is a bad thing, or that people, and I'm not gonna go like I've seen some people saying, if you open carry, you're an idiot. You don't do that. You carry however the hell you want to carry. Just carry a firearm. I mean, it doesn't matter the way you want to do it. It does matter, though, that you understand that there are implications that are involved. So, what changed? Basically, just the only thing that changed is that you can carry a firearm openly in public. That's it. That's the only thing that changed. I'm sorry. You cannot still carry in places where it was previously forbidden for you to carry. That stays the same. And businesses do reserve the right to tell you to leave if you go open carrying into their businesses. So, to give you an example, you go to Home Depot, you're carrying a pistol, or you decide to uh, hang a rifle on your back and kind of like walk in. If they tell you to leave, you have to leave. You don't argue. You don't argue rights. You don't argue anything. You just say, I'm sorry, and you leave. Because if you don't, you're going to be criminally trespassed, and that is a felony. I think it's a class 2 felony or something like that. It's a bad place to be. And you're going to be trespassed from the place, and you're going to be banned from ever coming back, and you're going to be in deep shit. So don't be a dick, and understand that the fact that you can carry walking on the sidewalk doesn't make it illegal for you to walk into a place where they don't want you to carry. So you have your rights, they also have their rights. It doesn't mean that I agree with it. It doesn't mean that I don't agree with it. It is what it is, right? So going over it, and I've thought about this for a little while. I've been thinking about it for a little while, actually. Um, Open carrying a firearm has its benefits, but based on the things I've seen, one of the things that you need to keep in mind is that if you decide to open carry, you need to make sure you have the right holster for it. So in this first picture that we're looking at, this holster, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see my pointer. I'm actually testing this software that I use for my other channel. I don't know if it's going to work fine. I haven't used it in a while, but anyway, here we go. So if you see, the holster has a little like loop. That loop is the safety or the retention system for the holster. That thing goes up, and you cannot pull the holster out unless you release it. That would be a way that I would carry if I was to open carry. On this other example, I would say I said I was not gonna call people idiots, but if you carry a gun like that, you're an idiot. I mean, you're asking for somebody to come and grab it and pistol whip you with it, and then steal your wallet. Don't carry like that. That's just dumb. And believe me, people do that. I've seen it actually. I think not me, but I've seen it in videos with my daughter the other day. Coming back home, she saw a guy carrying without a holster, like what they call Mexican carry. I think is the way that it's called. I'm Hispanic, so I'm Latino, so I'm allowed to say it. So call me racist if you want. I don't give it. I don't care. It's called Mexican carry for some reason. Actually, he had it on front, like a type of an appendix carry position, but without a holster. That's just stupid. Don't do that. Buy yourself a holster. Uh, I wouldn't carry like that either. The gun should be either in front of you in appendix position or I would say completely at 3 o'clock, where you have some control over the firearm, because in that position, somebody can come and snatch the gun away from you, especially if it doesn't have a strong retention system, which I don't think this one does. I can't see the holster, but by the looks of it, it kind of like looks like the kind of holsters that I currently have, and I won't open carry with those because they have no retention systems. This one, I actually, built, not built. I think that the right word would be constructed a safety like that, like something to snap it over the revolver, over my 686, so that I can use my open carry holster, even though I'm not open carrying. I have it under a shirt or under a jacket, but it's way more comfortable because we're talking about, it says 4.5 inches, but when you measure from the front of the barrel up to the top of the grip, it's more than 7 inches tall, so it's a big gun. And it's more comfortable. I do conceal carry that gun every day, or every time the rotation comes in, I conceal carry it. But I saw a video on the Paul Harrell channel done by his brother, Roy Harrell, and he did say that he did a modification and he added this little strip. And I did the same thing. I bought a little piece of leather and I added. I have a video. The thing is that it's in Spanish, but you can see the thing how it looks, and it works fine. It retains the gun, so it's an extra step that I have to take, and anybody else that may want to snatch the gun will have to take the same step. So that's kind of like the idea behind it, right? This is a leg holster. I kind of like have one of those too. Uh, I did something to it. I may do or may not do a video on it so you can see what I did, because they're not bad holsters. They're good. I think I like this kind of nylon holsters. Not the best that there is. Much better will be a Kydex one, but this, like I said, my channel is basically on a budget all the time. Or me, I am on a budget all the time. So I have to make do with the things that I can make do with. So I did something to this little Velcro nylon slash thing strip, and I added a piece of plastic on the loop so that when you unhook it, it jumps like, and it moves away really quickly, and it just stays away, and it reduces the risk of this thing getting into the trigger guard when you want to reholster. So I may show it, I may not. It depends. I don't know that. Maybe I'll do it as a DUI video and I'll show it moving forward. But this is kind of like the idea. Is gonna be harder for you to take this firearm because you do have to engage in this, which gives the user more time to react to what you're trying to do. This is a no-no, in my opinion. That thing is on his back, probably carrying something else, but I don't know, maybe with a very sharp blade you can cut this, pull it out. It has the mag in, and so you have to do is rack and you own the gun. So that would be dumb. I would carry it like in front of me or something like that if I ever I don't see myself walking down the street with a rifle. I mean, I would like to see it though, because it would be cool. It would be interesting to see it. I don't see myself doing it unless I'm actually doing something like maybe from maybe I would do it if I'm going fishing in the woods or something like that, trying to find a river or a lake where there might be wild animals around. Then I would do it just for the experience. Uh, but I don't know. I don't think I'm not gonna say no. I don't know. Maybe if there is a march, like an organized march, to try to talk to people, have engagements with people while you're walking around, because somebody may come and ask, to create awareness and make people understand that this is not necessarily a bad thing. And then we're going to talk about the pros and cons in the end, by the end of the video. So I just found a bunch of pictures that I found interesting, and I want to, as I see them, kind of like, ooh, sorry, I dropped my headphones. This guy's just chilling there. No criticism there. They're just chilling there. And that's perfectly fine. They're not doing nothing wrong. You see this one, it also has the little locking system or security system, in addition to the holster being completely encased. I mean, the pistol being completely encased into the holster. So I guess this is, okay. Somebody try to come from behind, they would need to try to disengage that, and it gives the user or the owner of the firearm more time to react to it, to whatever is happening. Regular people with their rifles. Nothing bad here, nothing wrong. Yeah, he's in complete control of the firearm. I don't see sling though. Um, I don't know. If I'm carrying a long gun, I would always carry a sling with me. The sling is the equivalent of the retention system of a holster. It's way harder to take a rifle away from somebody. It's something that is linked to the body of the user, like crossed body, like a wallet. Yeah, so I wouldn't carry a rifle like that. And this is a good example of a retention holster. Um, if you can see this thing that has this symbol, I don't know again if you can see my pointer. I hope you can. But that thing over there, that's the retention system. So this kind of holsters, this is a paddle holster. I do have one from Alien Gear that I can't use because I bought a light for the pistol that it was intended for, and Alien Gear doesn't make the shells for that paddle with that particular light. So I may end up selling it in the end to try and get me something that is better. But anyway, so this thing has a bottom, like a bottom on the other side that you push it down when you're pulling the gun up. So it's kind of like a one motion thing. As you're pushing, putting your hand over the grip with your thumb, you push that button, and then it releases the gun, and you pull it out, and you're good to go. You can do that really quickly with very little practice, if I'm being honest with you. So this is a great holster for people that would definitely try to open carry, because it makes it really hard for somebody to try to take your gun away from you. This is another one, and this illustrates, it's kind of like the same thing, but you see on the small circle on top, you see where the user is pushing the thumb. That's where the button that I was talking about is, and that's what releases the gun. You're not pulling that gun out of the holster if you don't push that button in. So that's I think they're in levels. I think this is a level 3, maybe even a level 4 holster or something like that. That's kind of like where you need to aim for if you want to open carry a gun, not only in Florida but anywhere you go. Don't use your regular. That would be a suggestion. I wouldn't use my regular holsters, even though they have good retention. But that retention is for the gun not to fall off the holster if you're in an awkward position, like if you fall to the floor or something like that, or if you get pushed, or you fall down a flight of stairs, as Joe Biden did so many times. Or maybe just one time, 3 times on the same day. So your gun doesn't like goes away into the underworld and you don't have a problem with it. Not for security retention. This is a type of holster that people don't like. I'm being honest, I own several of this. There's one that I modified, and I added a Kydex holster inside the nylon holster. And if I remove the light on that gun and I stick that thing in, you can hear the click. Like it really holds it in. So you have to pull it out. It's even though it doesn't have the retention on top, it really holds the gun in amazingly. And the clip on the side is not plastic, it's metal. So you cannot, I mean, it will work if I was using it still. It will be, and it's really comfortable actually after I did that mod. But this one has the this over, like additional retention thing that will hold the gun in place. I think this is what it is. I may be mistaken, but this is what it looks like. And the final photo is this one. This is just a leather strip for a freaking nice looking gun. It's an uncle holster. And you have to disengage the button so that you can pull the gun out. These are what I would say, some of the types of holsters that you will see out there. And if you decide to open carry, my suggestion is that you go and find a good quality holster for that purpose. So you minimize the risk of getting your gun snatched from you while you're at the store trying to buy your favorite brand of ice cream or something like that. Uh, Now, before I end, this is gonna be not gonna be a very long video. Why? What are the pros and the cons? So we all know that criminals, when criminals go out, they already made a decision that they're gonna do something. So once they're looking, they are actually trying to find their targets. Usually, it's people that are unaware that's going on, and that's you and me. When you go out, even if you have a good situational awareness, you're gonna have to react to something that somebody else has been planning. So you are in a disadvantage if it hits you directly. So if you're the target of an assault, even if you're carrying a gun, you have to react to that, is what I'm trying to say. If somebody else is a target of an assault and you're around, then you get the chance to react to that. And the robber or the mugger is not expecting you to react to it. The other guy that pulled the gun is trying to do something bad with it. Is not expecting you to come from his side. Especially if you got a good situational awareness in you and you kind of like scoped around. You don't think that the person came in with somebody else. And there are things that you need to consider, even if you're 100% sure that that person is alone. But that's not important for the topic of this video. So, same scenario. Somebody comes in, the person is decided that he's gonna do something. He's gonna do a criminal thing this day. He walks in, and he sees you carrying your firearm. One of two things can happen. The person is gonna choose you as their first target, and they're gonna try and position themselves in a place where they can take you out because they already know that you're the threat, or the person's gonna decide to walk away because it's not worth it. It's not worth the risk of getting shot. I don't know if there are statistics of what happens, in what percentage. But I don't know if I want to be a 1%, a 5%, even I don't know, even a 0.5%. If what happens is that that person gets shot. Excuse me, not that person, you getting targeted and getting shot first because they saw your gun. And like I said, one of the things that can happen is that somebody may try to take your gun, and that happens because I've seen it. Again, I don't know statistics. I don't know how many times it happens, but it does happen. So the real question is, do you want to risk it? Is it worth it? One way that I would do it, if I do it, is in groups. Like you get a bunch of friends and you park somewhere and you just walk around and try to talk to people about it. Enjoy your ride because I'm pretty sure it probably feels really nice. I've seen people doing it. I would like to experience it. It's way more comfortable to carry openly, if you ask me. Way more comfortable. That's the only comfortable way to carry is open carry. That's the only, anything else is not comfortable. Regardless of what anybody says, you're not gonna convince me. It's not comfortable, even though I do carry every day. Um, but I don't know. Maybe you get together a bunch of friends and you just walk around and you talk to people, and if they ask you, you can explain to them, "Hey, we're not the bad guys. It's just a ride, and we're trying to create, conscious in people because this is not, people are not accustomed to seeing it. Not necessarily a bad thing, and that can serve a purpose." When you compare that to concealed carry, um, and we go to the first scenario that I was talking about, if you become the target of an assault, you're still gonna have to react to something that you were not expecting. Um, you're concealed carrying. That robber doesn't know you have a firearm, so you may have a fighting chance. You may listen that I'm saying may. And like I always say, and I said it late into the video, but it's something that is worth mentioning. Remember, guys, I'm not an expert. I'm just thinking out loud, and I like to record videos with my thoughts in it. Not asking you or telling you to do anything. You do your own research. You do your own training, and you play with your own circumstances. Okay, this is it's on you to do your own research and learn about things, and just make sure that you're well informed before you make any and take any actions that can put you maybe in harm's way. So, same scenario, you're concealed carrying, you face a threat. That threat doesn't know you're packing heat. You may have a fighting chance to go back home unharmed or alive. Same scenario that I painted before. You're walking into a place, and then a guy comes in after you, and he points a gun at the clerk of a business. He's threatening people. The person doesn't know that you're carrying, so now you have the element of surprise. Now you have the upper hand if you decide to engage, based on the laws of where you live, based on what the laws allow you to do, and under what circumstances you are. You still have the upper hand until that focus of the assault goes to you. Then you're gonna have to react to that person. So yes, from this is my take, my personal opinion over open carrying a firearm. So first, will I ever do it? I don't know. Probably in some scenarios I will. I like hiking. I and me and my wife are thinking about doing it more often. So maybe when I'm hiking, I wouldn't mind carrying openly, just in case I need to quick draw against some charging animal. Even though I don't think you're gonna have to shoot anything. You probably just in case you need to, and conventional methods don't work to scare the thing away, and you may definitely need to defend yourself against a four-legged predator. It's way faster, to draw a gun that is already in the outside, so it's already right there. You just have to grab it. So I may do it if I'm doing that. I may start doing it if I'm fishing, depending on where I am and depending with whom I am. I may do it there too. Definitely, if you go hunting, then I mean, of course. Other than that, I don't think I will find myself, just doing it. Maybe with a bunch of guys, a bunch of friends. Like I said, that would be nice if we organize ourselves and we can like walk around and just talk to people about it. I'm open to do that too. Uh, but if I'm being honest, and this is just my opinion, I don't see the advantage. I don't see it. I'm happy that it's there. I hope it stays there. And I encourage everybody to do their own research and enjoy your rights the way you feel you should enjoy them. by and be responsible about it. One pro that he has too is that you don't have to worry so much if you brandish your gun. So, and what I'm trying to say, so you're standing up in an aisle and you lift your arm to get that freaking can of whatever that is way over there, and you're not thinking about the firearm. Instead of, you lift your right arm, whatever, depending on the side you carry, and the gun shows, and somebody calls the police, and then you have to, waste time and deal with that shit. That's gone. That's a good thing. You get out of the car, the shirt kind of like went up a little bit, and you're walking, and the gun is out. You're not threatening anybody. The gun just out, didn't notice it. Somebody sees you, calls the police, and you have a problem too. That's gone. That's a plus. Other than that, I'm happy that it's there, and I hope it stays there. It was about damn time, if you ask me, because it does says that the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, and by reviewing the laws, any law that tries to regulate a constitutional right, in my opinion, it should be revised, and it should be studied, and probably should be removed by using the same legal means. And that's my take. If you like this video, remember to please like, share, and subscribe. And until the next time, Random Reviews, signing out.